I was not going to sit there and let somebody judge me. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, and if you are new, welcome to the diaries. Just a little backside, not backside, but side note back into the beginnings. If you guys are new to the channel, my name is Chelsea. I'm 19. I am about to turn 20 years old in February, and I am married. My husband's name is Justin. I have 2 little boys as of right now, and they are my world. And the other videos I've posted is just an introduction to this channel. It is going to be about memories to show my boys and future children as they grow older. It's just to kind of like document like my story. That way I can get out there, and there are other teen moms and stuff out there. Yes, I was a teen mom. I had Forrest at 18 and Addison at 19. They were very close together. So it's just to let other moms out there know that there are other moms out there just like them, just like their story, teenagers. There are a lot of differences in the story, yes, but the ground basis is like still the same. Teen moms, teen pregnancies and stuff. So if you read the title and you clicked on this video, this is going to be a story time. It's going to be my, I guess you would consider it third, sorry, I guess you would consider it my third story time, but this is going to be about how I managed my senior year while being pregnant. That being said, yes, I did have Forrest at 18, and with the way my birthday fell with my school districts, I was a senior at 17, and then I turned 18 a couple months before I had graduated, but I had gotten pregnant the month or 2 before the summer break. It was back in my junior year when I had gotten pregnant. And so this is going to be the story time of how I managed being pregnant during my senior year. And so it was hard, as any teen pregnancy and a teen being in school, that's hard. A lot of teen moms out there will tell you that other than having their child, being in school had to have been the hardest part because of, you know, managing your doctor's appointments, setting up for the baby, and, you know, managing your schoolwork. And if you're in any extracurricular activities, you've got to manage all that in there too. It was hard. I was not in any extracurricular activities or anything like that. It was mostly just school and the doctor's appointments, and then going home and setting up. But I did have a lot of teachers that weren't very supportive. They just looked at me like another number on a statistic scale. They thought I was just going to be one of those other typical teen moms, you know, drop out of school, take care of the baby. They don't achieve anything in life or anything like that. A lot of them did not expect me and Justin to stay together. And that was the hardest part, was to have a lot of doubt. Being pregnant and being in school was a lot of the doubt. That being said, I did have an amazing support team in school throughout my pregnancy, throughout everything that involved my pregnancy, school, my children. I've always had a very good support system. Now, of course, Justin and his family was always a really good support system. My family, for the most part, an excellent support system. But during school, like during school hours, when my family was not there, Justin and his family was not there, despite his oldest sister Paige, because she was a sophomore or a freshman whenever I was a senior. She was there too, but our schedules never like was the same, so it's not like I seen her all day or anything. But I had 3 really good friends who is basically stuck by my side. Alicia, she is my best friend. She's the one I talk about on this channel quite often. She's the best friend I could ever ask for. She was one of the biggest biggest ones. And then I had a couple other friends. A lot of them I cannot remember names since it has been quite a few years. But Stephanie and a friend Trista, that's how her name is said. It's not Tristan or anything like that. Her name is Trista. And so, like, they were always some of the biggest support systems. They were part of my biggest support. And they constantly, and we are still friends today. Some, you know, I'm not as close with all of my friends as I was due to being a mom of two. I didn't keep in contact with a lot, and I usually just stay around family. And a lot of times I'm at home with the boys, and that's it. Unless a friend comes and sees me, I really don't get out unless I have to, like a doctor's appointment or I need groceries or something. But other than that, I just stay home. So I really lost connections with a lot of my friends. And so going back onto the teachers, it was mostly just the male teachers. I had like 2 or 3, I can't remember exactly, but they did not really want me there because they just figured I was going to be one of the statistics. Now, my high school had about 8 pregnant seniors. We are in a small town, so it was basically they picked and chose who they thought was going to fail as a mom or fail in school or anything like that. And they really, like, put a lot of, like, pressure onto the ones that they thought were not going to. Like, there was constant, like, little side marks and stuff. And one of the teachers did not like me. The one that I had the biggest problem with, he didn't like me because I would have to schedule my appointments for in the morning around 8 o'clock. It was the earliest I could get. It was the earliest my doctor's office opened. And it was around the time I was going to be in his class, so I would miss majority of his class. I'd come in at the end. And he didn't really like that. He thought I couldn't do anything. And then he said that we could do PowerPoints at home to get the notes and print them off. But then when he realized that's what I was doing and I was missing more of his class, he said that we had to handwrite everything. So there was a lot, and it wasn't mostly directed towards me. It was a lot of the students that would just ditch his class and not go. But I kind of took a little bit of offense to it because he knew that I had to schedule my doctor's appointments for a reason, because Justin worked a factory job and he worked on a second shift. He had worked this job for a while, so he was working a second shift, which is like 3 to 11. And so I couldn't schedule him for any later in the day. I couldn't schedule it for when we got out of school because about the time I was getting out of school, he was going into work. And so it didn't work. It was better just to do it in the morning. That way he could go to the doctor's appointment and then take me to school, and then I'd just go home with his sister. I'd just ride the bus home with her. And then I had my history teacher. He's one of those people that's sarcastic. And a lot of times he doesn't mean to, like, make a sarcastic joke. It just comes out that way. And I took, like, pregnant and hormonal, I took offense to it a lot. And so I quit going to his class and everything. And then when the guidance counselor had called me in to talk about it, I had said, you know, they're really just treating me unfairly. They're treating majority of the seniors that are pregnant unfairly. I don't see the point in going into a class where I don't feel I'm going to get to learn because they're too worried about what decisions I've made for my personal life. And I had to explain to them that what I did on my personal time and my personal life was my business. I chose to have a baby. It had nothing to do with them. I was still making the effort to go to school. And so the guidance counselor plain told me that I was just another statistic number, that I was going to end up like all the other stereotypical moms out there and, you know, live off my parents or not finish high school or anything like that. So I was tired of the negativity. The only thing that at this point that was going on was a lot of stress and a lot of, you know, it was negative, and I did not want that. I wanted the most positive pregnancy that I could have had, and I wasn't getting it. So I want to say I technically dropped out I don't know if I could, what happened was I quit going to school. I didn't have the will to get up to go. I did not want to go and sit there and be ridiculed and judged for a decision that I had made for a baby that I created. I was not going to sit there and let somebody judge me on that and it affect my education and everything. I couldn't do it. I couldn't. So I quit going to school. I didn't go to school for about 3 or 4 months. In the middle of senior year. So I had gotten in a lot of trouble with truancy at this point. There was a lot that was said. They wanted to take me to court over my truancy issues. Justin's mom had took over power of attorney over me for a lot of different reasons. And it was just a temporary power of attorney until I turned 18, which when she took it over, it was just a few months before I turned 18. And so they had contacted her and a lot of stuff was said. There was risk of going into state's custody. There was also the risk of staying in state's custody past 18 years old until 21. And then the guy made it a point to say that the state could really have been, you know, that kind that was like, and they could have took my baby away and I would not have been able to do anything about it. Justin was not going to be able to do anything about it if they had decided to take him away from me. And so they said they were more than willing to work with me. I didn't have to go to a court. I did not have to go into any kind of system. They just wanted me to go back to school. I went back to school right after the winter break, and I wanted to enroll into what they call REACH in my town. REACH is this little laid back kind of school. It's not really real laid back. It's all computer online work and you go at your pace. So if you want to get through something in a day, because that's how quickly you learn it and it's how you learn and everything, you can do that. Or if you want to take 2 weeks on one little subject, then you take 2 weeks. If you wanted to take a whole 2 months on one little subject, you could do it. This school was mostly just to work at your own pace. That way you felt comfortable with how you were learning. And the school also like doubled for other things. It was called REACH, and then it was all alternative school, and then I'm pretty sure it was also where some GEDs were taken to get the GEDs. And so my class graduated in May. And I was able to walk the stage with them, but I was not able to get my diploma then. I went to REACH, and it started off, you know, I just having to get back into that normal school routine. So it started off slow. I wasn't really liking it, but then once I got to doing the work and I got to finishing all my subjects that I needed done, I didn't have very many left. It was enough to do like the normal senior course. But once I started getting a lot of my subjects done, I was like, I'm gonna do this, and I may not get done by the time my class is going to be officially graduated, but I'll be graduated. And so I really liked the school. Everyone, you know, it was a lot of other seniors had decided to go over there too, and it was just, it was nice to be in a nice little quiet area that I was in, and I was working at my own pace. It was great. And the teachers were amazing because, like I said, majority of the pregnant seniors had went over here, and so I had a lot of false alarms with Forrest, and he was the one I was pregnant with. I thought I was in labor. I had had contractions going consistently, so I told my teacher, and Justin's mom came and got me. We went to the hospital, false alarm. I thought my water was leaking, so my teacher actually had to drive me to the hospital because Justin was at work and Justin's mom was not able to come and get me right away. It would have been a few minutes, and then my mom was babysitting my nieces and nephews, and so it's not like she could have loaded all of them up within 5 minutes and got to me within like 10. It just wasn't reasonable. I have quite a few nieces and nephews, And I'll have to get into that in a different video because my backstory is still kind of like not sketchy. I don't know why I was going to say that. It's still like it needs to be sketched out because as of right now, you guys know I've lived in a small town. That's a whole nother thing in itself. I'm going back. So when I finally did have Forrest, I did get a full 6 weeks off and I was able to do the work at home as a homebound would in like a regular school. I don't know if that is for everywhere or if it's just for my town, but in my town, if you are in high school and you are pregnant and having a baby, you do get like the mandatory 6 weeks off like you would if you were working a job. And so I got that 6 weeks. I was able to do work at home. I was able to finish a lot of classes at home, and I was able to go back. When I went back, I asked them if I could bring Forrest, and they said that it's not ideal because I was going to be distracted the whole time, that I could bring him a couple days a week. I got to the point I couldn't go to school without Forrest. I was either going and then just too worried about what was going on with him and missing him too much. I just decided I would go home, so it wasn't necessarily the best fit. I got to the point where I said, if I'm going to finish school on a time that you guys want me to, then I'm going to have to bring him. And so they said, you know, it's still not ideal, but if you want to bring him, if you're going to work better if he's here, then go ahead. And so I was able to bring Forrest to school with me. Everybody loved him. He was at school with me a lot. My school, I don't know if a lot of schools do this, but my school does what's called a senior walk. You walk around the high school, not the Little Reach school, you walk around the high school. And so you walked around the high school, and it's like saying goodbye to the memories you've made there. And so as I took Forrest with me this day too, a lot of the moms, like I said, there was a lot of teen moms and teen pregnancies in my high school. And so a lot of the moms had had their babies and everything. And I was walking around with Forrest, and like, it was bittersweet, like to say goodbye to the high school that I had been going to for like basically 3.5 years, if you want to put it in like technical terms, but 4 years. Going to the same school, being in the same routine and everything. But after I'm going to go back to what I was talking about. I get sidetracked easily. But going back, I done, like, the first 2 weeks was hard because it was that I wasn't allowed to bring him every day. It was just a few days. And so my progression after my maternity leave was slow. I didn't get as much subjects as I was getting done before I was pregnant or at home. And so when I finally was able to bring Forrest to school with me, unless it was like a state mandatory test done that I needed to do at the high school, then I couldn't really bring him. So what I would do is I would leave him with Justin, I'd go and do all that, and then I would go to the Reach school, and if I didn't feel like I was going to get anything done, I would have Justin or one of our friends come pick me up. More times than not, it was one of our friends because Justin did work second shift, so he was having to sleep for work. And Justin was not sleeping on baby duty. If he was tired enough to where he didn't think he could wake up with him, then he sent him to his mom's. Not that he couldn't do it or anything. It's just, you know, he was working a second shift job. It's not like I got mad or anything about it, but more times than not, I would just go to the high school to do the state testing, and then I would just go home basically because I could never go to school without him. I just wanted, and I was a new mom too. So getting back. So once I was able to finally bring Forrest to school with me, and he come to school with me every day, I was able to graduate. I did have to do a little bit of summer school, and I don't know if this is a technical term. This is what I call myself. This is what I tell everybody. I'm a late graduate. I graduated, but I did not graduate in the time frame that would have been like, I don't know the technical term for it. I walked the stage with my graduating class, but I did not have my diploma then. I had to go to summer school to finish and get my diploma. I did walk the stage to an empty case, but I still ended up graduating, and I still ended up getting my diploma and everything like that, and I done it all for Forrest. And a lot of people had asked me, why I even went back to begin with if I had such a hard time and such a negative time going to school. And I said I didn't go back for myself. I went back for him because I wanted him to see that, you know, if you really put your mind to something and you really have the heart to do something, you can do it. Like, look at your mom, for example. She had a lot of doubts against her, but she still went back and finished school for you. Not necessarily for herself, but for you. So that is that. I got everything that was really in that. I don't know the technical terms for graduating late because I had to go to summer school. My technical graduation date was June 18th. And so my class was May 22nd. So I don't know. I call myself a late graduate. It sounds fancy or like what they would actually call it. But that is all for today's video, guys. I'm hitting a little short on ideas. That's why I've only been posting once a week. But if you have any ideas, please comment. I am open to any suggestion. So comment any video you would like to see. Hit the subscribe button. If you're already subscribed, you can click the little bell icon and get notified whenever I post more videos. That being said, I will get down to a more schedule, like a Monday, Wednesday, Friday kind of deal, like a set schedule, like once all week, and then like not post on the weekends or something. Once I get more ideas and everything, I will do more of a steady little schedule. But until then, I only have just a few ideas. I think the next idea I want to do is the interesting facts about me and Justin. And that's going to take a little bit of convincing. If you're watching this, honey, I really need you to do it. But if you're not going to, I'm not going to force you. That's just that. I have no, if you hear paper, it is like my little binder of all these little ideas I have. Which I think I have a few more than what I'm doing. Now, all of that being said, and I will get back into the subscribe, comment, bell, whatever again, because I usually say it about 5 or 6 times before I'm even done. I am in this little club called Young Moms, and I will get into a whole video on that. That'll probably be my next video before the interesting facts. I am in a club called Young Moms, and it's just this little club that I have for my town in a sister town. It's just for all the teen moms in one county and another county. Not really county either. I don't know. We live in a little town, and then it's like 10 minutes out, another little town, hardly 10 minutes. And so those two big high schools are in like this little group called Young Lives. I want to believe if you ever see me in a like light gray sweatshirt and the writing is in blue and it says Fully Loved Young Lives, that's what it has to be. Young Lives. I have no idea. But I will figure that out and do it and make it a pinpoint in the next video. But we are all going on a little trip, and I will probably talk about that more in the next video, so stay tuned for that. And I will see if I can vlog like the trip up there. I have been to the I have went on this trip before, not necessarily for the time length or something. I don't want to give too much away, but I have went to the trip destination before, and there's not a lot of good service out there, so I could probably film but then not get it posted until I got home. So I'm probably gonna do something like that, like vlog the trip, vlog the nights before like going to bed, getting up, like some of the breakfast and stuff like that. And I am putting out a little too much detail there. So that being said, this is going to be the official end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope everyone's had a good day or having a good day, depending on what time you're watching this video. If you are new, please hit the subscribe button. Comment any ideas you would like to see, like literally anything, because I'm always open to every single idea I will read. And if you're already subscribed to my channel, hit the little bell icon and tell everybody you know, because I'm growing my fan base. just tell everybody you know, because I would love to get my story out there and to hear your guys' stories too. So that is all for today's video. I hope you guys are having a good day. Bye.